Thank you so much for everybody for joining us. Be welcome to the second International Congress of Promotion against Suicide. We thank a lot to all of the people who joined to make this possible. It doesn't matter how bad things are today, but tomorrow will be better things. We're about to introduce Loreta Bravo Science. She is a psychologist. She knows mindfulness, a lot of topics around the emotional intelligence. She has a very big background. She has a lot of expertise, and we were very happy to welcome her for the topic of today, that is paternity and maternity without violence, limits and empathy for the prevention of suicide and promotion of mental health. Well, good afternoon to everybody. I'm very happy to be here today with you, and I think it's very important to learn about this topic, that it's very difficult, but we have to overcome. Suicide is a very important topic that we need to be informed so we can do something about it. Well, paternity and maternity without violence. I'm just putting the presentation in. Well, this is the topic of today. How to be supportive as a father or as a mother with our children, or it's. I would like to begin with this reflection. Just be more conscious. As a mindfulness teacher, I really like to do that. What we're going to do now is just to take a conscious breathing. Just slow, conscious breathing in inhaling and then exhaling. Well, and to ask ourselves what is important right now. What is important right now? What I'm just gonna observe. How is my breathing? How is my body? How am I feeling? So just pay attention to this question. What is important for myself right now? What is my intention for the topic of today? Maybe it's just be more informed, or how to give support to my kids or family. We will honor the intention we have right now. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Thank you very much for being here today. As parents or psychologists or as a community that we're being right now, that's what are we looking for? We're looking for creating a safe community where we can share compassion and a safe space for all. The big question is what the kids need to feel safe and have a healthy development. We all need union and connection. We and kids the most. In like bigger cases, the biggest connection, or the most important one, is the one with our mother. Many years ago, when we lived in a bigger community, it wasn't only the mother who gave the connection or union, but the whole town. But we don't do that anymore. It's just the mother now. Well, the union and connection is what the whole human being is looking for, and well, that's what children needs to develop for as a healthy adult. Our ancestors always were looking for survival, so they developed this attachment. So nowadays we think that attachment is something wrong, but the thing we have to understand is not that it's not good. The children needs to be attached to its parents to feel safe. We need to give our children a safe space, like our home, and our loved ones. We have to give them like this safe environment. But what happens sometimes that the worst thing that can happen to a kid is when parents are going through divorce or separation. They need to feel the union with its loved ones. So we have to educate ourselves and create this safe environments without violence, even though we're going like through this very rough times of so we can give our children this safe environment, even though like bad circumstances. So the worst trauma is that when we're together, this union, it's a threat as well. And the base of the unity, well, it's just fragmented, and it's where we have to look for a safe place for the kids. Most of us are we're adults nowadays that maybe can relate to this kind of trauma, where there were this kind of threat at home where I couldn't feel, or we couldn't feel safe at our own homes. The thing we have to realize is our potential and our feelings. We don't have much education around our feelings and how to express them. But nowadays, a lot of people around the world are opening themselves to educate themselves about in this topic. Well, these feelings are not the same as our emotions. But we need to learn to be able to feel our emotions, be introspective, and learn how to separate the one from another and feel the emotion. We need to start to feel our emotions and connecting with them, and as adults teach our kids to do the same thing. well, maybe we have the situation when the kid is behaving aggressively at school, but this is how we can prevent this by teaching them to feel and connecting with their feelings of the kid. Because even though we don't speak about this topic, but when we don't speak about our feelings as an adult, maybe we could transpose it to the kids, and they bring it out when we are not doing it ourselves. Sometimes the kid could show himself aggressive at school because we're at home fighting with our husbands or wives. So myself, what can I do to do, or how I am impacting my kid? As parents, we have to have this healthy attachment. We have to educate ourselves, to do introspection, and learn that there are no good or bad feelings. It's just learn how to auto-regulate ourselves. In the same way we auto-regulate ourselves and our feelings, we teach our kids to do the same things. The same thing. We have to be well, everything we do will impact on our kids' lives. So it's important to take care of ourselves as well. At least in Mexico, there's a big influence on Mexican education for kids to speak about their feelings. It's a social emotional education. When I went to the States, I had the opportunity to go to the mindful schools, where they have this kind of programs, and there are classes of mindfulness where they teach kids how to contact with their different feelings and how to feel them and how to regulate them. So it's very important to know the potential of contacting with our own feelings. There are a lot of doctors who speak about this topic. He speaks about safe sanctuary as a safe sanctuary. Is this refugee within yourself? There are two kinds of refugees, like, well, the one inside ourselves and the one outside our person. It's a safe space for our feelings. For like in the outside, it's our close relations, where we can express our feelings, like and those people are mom, dad, and home. And it's good to promote school as a safe space as well, so they feel protected there. Well, maybe sometimes there are kids who bully and are aggressive to other, so they need at least this, like, a safe space at home. Well, the doctor speaks about emotional recess, where they have like this time to express their emotions, their feelings, and come back to yourself. We need to feel now and then, and we need to have safe spaces to express our feelings. As kids or as parents or adults, we need to have these safe spaces. The feelings are our path to our potential, our total potential. the first thing that happens with our feelings is a physical sensation. Then we have a feeling, and then we have an interpretation of this action. So here is where our emotions come into the game. We have to learn how to identify how am I feeling in that moment. If we take away our feelings, if we punish the feelings of our kids, or if we tell them that some feelings are good and some are bad, we're not helping them at all. So no feeling is good or bad. Feeling angry is not bad. There are a lot of mindful schools that teach kids like that anger, it's not that the happiness is nice, and they start like identifying what they feel in their body and how they express happiness with their body and its feelings. How are you feeling? Are you ashamed to cry in front of your friends? There are a lot of feelings that are difficult to express, and usually in society, like kids who cry a lot or get very angry, they're just he's just recluded, and that's it. But and in this way, we're just teaching the kids like not to feel. It's not correct to feel that way, and that's not correct. The other way we can teach our kid to do it, to have a better conduct, is educating our kid to not explaining them why pushing someone or yelling at someone is not good. Little by little, we teach how to differentiate and validate each feeling and how to express it in the right way. If it's okay feeling anger, but we're not gonna express it because then that's when we can make maybe we can harm another person. So we need how to express it in a healthy way. It's prioritizing to know how to regulate our emotions. Well, our feelings have been the enemy for more than 400 years. Well, this doctor, he was constantly punished for showing his emotions. And now when he is a parent, he sees his same behavior in his kid when he couldn't express himself and his feelings. But in the same level, you heal yourself and educate yourself and express your feelings, is in the same level that you'll help your kid. It's very important to learn how to ask for help and teach our kids and our students that it's okay to ask for help. We cannot do everything by ourselves. And in this way, we can create this feeling of community and union between each other. It's okay to ask for help. We don't know everything. Maybe we don't ask for help sometimes because we have fear or we're frightened, but it's okay. We have to do it. John Locke said many years ago, the problem with women and kids is that they feel a lot. But they were very limited about their emotional expression. This is a very big topic. Like nowadays for men, it's not, they are taught socially that it's not okay to cry or show any kind of weakness. It's very important that men express their feelings in the same way women or kids do. The first attachment for the kids, it's their home. One of the first things we do in therapy is to create a safe space. In therapy, I had a patient, a 40-year-old man, who told me, I cannot believe that until this moment I found a safe space for myself, and here with you, where I can speak about my feelings. And I thought, well, at least he has a safe space where he can express like all the feelings he has, or his tears. It's very important to create this safe space for other people. To be listened is a very, very important part, and but from empathy. Nowadays it's like very frequent to have a very stressful and rapid life. So it's very important to give ourselves and our loved ones this safe space where they can speak, and we just leave the phone aside and listen to our kid who's needing help. Because at this moment, when you're speaking to me, you're important, and I need to listen to you. We have to develop an empathic listening. Empathic listening. We have to remember ourselves, like remind ourselves, I'm going to do consciously this empathic listening with my kid, or when someone asks for my help, I'm going to listen to this person. The person can perceive that they are that you're present with them and that they're important. We have to develop this ability. A few days ago, in an interview, they were asking me, oh, how do you do that? How you develop this empathic listening? And I told them, well, it's the same as going to the gym. You have to train. You have to, as the same way you strengthen your bicep or your body, you have to practice this empathic listening. There are a lot of spaces now where we can do this kind of practice, do this conscious pauses, that races that we just did, of big conscious breaths. So nowadays, like we think that our feelings are bad, and we find drugs just to numb them. There's a lot of information and orientation how bad how the way we feed ourselves, how we eat, has a direct in our health, in our mental health. it's important before medicating people. You have to be assured that this person is enough hydrated. Does this person do exercise? Does this person breathe correctly? If this person have already done or checked this point, and he still, or he or she feels bad, now we can give them some anxiolytic or antidepressives. A psychiatrist, he said, before you go to a psychiatrist, check how do I hydrate myself correctly? Do I breathe consciously? Okay. Do I do my breathing exercise? Do I give myself 5 minutes just for mindfulness in this practice? The breathing that you will always will be able to practice is 3 by 3. Every 8 hours a day. So let's just imagine this practice of breathing as our medicine that we take 8 out of every 8 hours. Just 3 minutes. Just do this practice 3 minutes in the morning, 3 days in the afternoon, and 3 minutes at night. And we have, and in those breathing, we just do the same. The practice is the same as the one we did in the beginning. Just ask yourself what is important for me at this moment right now. And now if we continue doing this practice from Monday to Sunday, those are a lot of minutes at the end of the week. It's just 3 minutes to yourself. When you wake up, you just dedicate those 3 minutes to yourself. Or even before starting your meal, you can do that conscious recess and just start breathing and asking yourself what's important for you in that moment. It's very important for kids to let them express their feelings, but we cannot work on them if we cannot feel them. Today, I received a patient. She is 30 years old, and she prays. But she says that even though the praying hasn't let her put everything out. And what I said to her is that I have to work this emotion, to work on it, and then give it a new meaning to it. Well, this feeling, if it's very difficult to overcome, it's very important to feel it and to adapt, to auto-regulate. We look for safe spaces where it can be the psychologist, it can be a teacher, it can be your mom, your dad, yourself, and create this secure environment, above all for the kids. This emotional recess, one of them, it's like our links with our parents, our friends. So what is this? What is this emotional recess? There are stories or music, writing, or doing theater. There are some workshops that I've done or given. I sometimes attend teenagers that tell me, I've been writing what I've been feeling, without me telling them to do it. Well, in this diary, they write down their frustrations, and it's very therapeutical for them. And now there are workshops for adults and for kids of writing, and theater. Theater is very good as well. Now there are a lot of spaces where they're given like the spaces to do theater. Here is where emotions can be acted, and there's a safe space to do it. You know how you've seen kids playing with their dolls and acting out their emotions or expressing their emotions by playing with their dolls. So that's an emotional recess. We cannot grow any other way that is not with our feelings. Sometimes life bad things happen, but kids need to know that even though it's a hard time right now, I have my mom or my dad at home, that I'm okay, I'll be safe with them. And we as adults can help our kids by not dividing the emotions in good or bad, just embracing our kid and embracing our kid and telling them it's not their fault. When there is an emotional abuse to our kids, but we have to remind them that they're loved and they're important, and this bad thing that happened to them is just that there wasn't a capable person there for protect them. Well, in this part of the presentation of suicidal prevention, we have to ask ourselves, do we know someone that has died for suicide? And the 80% of people answer yes. People who know that who suicide. And sometimes this is a taboo topic. Now nobody talks about it. Maybe for some religious groups it's not permitted to talk about this. And there are maybe even countries that's permitted and others is not permitted to talk about this. Now, how confident do you feel to support a person with suicidal thoughts? As a psychologist, we have more tools to help these people. But it's very important. But ourselves, even if you don't have like a psychological degree, it's important to give this empathic and active listening to the people who wants to express their feelings. I'll show you in a minute a few statistics of teenagers. Well, right now, one in every 20 people have suicidal thoughts. Not all of them are thinking to really, really do it, but it's a red flag to pay attention to. People between 15 to 29 years old have told me, I'm not thinking of doing the action by itself. I don't want to kill myself, but I would really wish not to wake up tomorrow. But that's a thought of depression. That's a flag of depression. There are some people who look like from the this idea is distortionated. I don't feel supported or happy with life. Many times is because there was abuse as a kid or as a teenager, and they haven't been able to express that they felt disvalued. Everybody can help from our own point. If we're teachers, if we're students, if we're we can link people to the places they need support. What I've seen in a lot of teenagers is through the years, it's this harming themselves attitudes, like cutting themselves with razors, or it's just a signal of not loving themselves, and it's very important to help them as the psychologists, as we know how to, and if we don't as parents, well, we have to give them like a support and tell and be honest with them. Look, I feel limited to how to overcome this with you, but I will we will ask for help, and I will be in this whole process with you. So suicide is not just a thought that comes overnight. The suicidal thoughts increases day by day. Like if I feel bad every day, they just start accumulating. Sometimes we don't notice it, but when the person does the decision, it's because they just accumulated this feeling and they weren't able to express it. We have to learn how to be there for people and not be afraid of it. Oh my god. In another a few talks ago, they interrupted one of the talks because the person wanted to just a person was trying to she made this pause because she in the end didn't decided to commit suicide, but she said to reflect on this thought, to listen to a person, because she felt safe. So if we can give this safe space for people, we can support people who need our help. Well, it's a reality that people don't want to kill themselves, but they don't want to die. It's very important to receive this help. They just want to get free of this difficulty. I don't want to have this problem anymore. It's just overwhelming. It's too much, and I don't want it anymore. So that's why we need to have this empathic listening with people. So suicide can be prevented. Educating our community and telling them it's safe to speak about suicide and make this question: have you thought about suicide? Sometimes kids don't talk nothing, or because they think they did something wrong, or they're threatened. I received so many kids in therapy where an authority that abused them, that threatened them, that if they talked, they were going to hurt their loved ones. So it's very important to tell them that they're safe now, that we're not going to judge them, we're not going to punish them about anything they did or said, and that we will fix this. And there are options, there are opportunities, there are and give this space without that they can speak without judgment. If you have this kind of suicidal thoughts, it's safe for you to speak about it and not be afraid to ask this question. That the person has the space just to say it. It just liberates themselves a bit about this part. And in a small kid, we don't usually make this question, but in teenagers and adults, we do. As in a kid, we do it by games, and sometimes when there's a very difficult, hard time at home, kids usually they express it in words as well. There are a lot of teenagers. I had a teenager in therapy, and I told the mother to reduce everything that can be used to kill herself. It must be like put on away, like aspirins or knives, everything. Just take it away of the house. I told this to the mother. And sometimes there's a lot of emotional pain because of sexual abuse, or when the person just feels really, really bad. It's just the wish or the will to live stops, or they need to harm themselves to take or to relieve them to the emotional pain. That can happen to everybody, from kids to adults or teenagers. So we have to reduce the possibilities or the access to commit this suicide. There's a lot more of information on what to do, in or when they are attempting to commit suicide. How to help them. We have to we're dealing as well with stigma and shame. Like people are sometimes ashamed to say, "Oh, well, how I will say that I have this kind of thoughts." So creating this kind of safe community and breaking taboos, that's the way we can help them, to give them the safe space to speak about it. There's nothing that we must, there's nothing to be ashamed about. We have to be that person who is there without judgmental thinking and be with that person. Unfortunately, it's not in all countries it's legal to talk about this subject. Research has shown that about each person who commits suicide, 133 people are affected as well, for every person that commits suicide. And it can impact the people in their ability to work, continuing having responsibilities, and having satisfactory relationships. It's very difficult to overcome to overcome after to overcome and keep on going without after having having preceded this section. Close to 800,000 people die for suicide every year, and this is a person every 40 seconds. Suicide is the second cause of death in people between 15 and 19 years in the world. So it's a very young population. Teenagers, most of all, need this safe space to speak and invite them to speak about their feelings and emotions. And so they to help them don't create stories in their minds and recognize this is a distortionate thought and it's not the reality. In the end, well, what we need to help the people we love or the people who needs our help, it's comprehension, compassion, strength, and calmness, and compression, fortress, compassion, calm, courage, and to know how to differentiate. And right now, this is a safe space for you to ask questions. If anybody wants to ask any question or comment about the topic. A question of them is, what can we do when there are situations where the kid doesn't feel safe at home or with their family? And the answer is that to create another space, safe space that is not at home, but that the kid has another safe space to shelter him or her. They can take away the kids to institutions, or they take them to other homes with their grandparents or their uncles or aunts, and then for that they take care of them in this hard time. What to do if somebody has already attempted against their life and they don't want any help? Well, if there's not support, there are some institutions that can help them, like public organizations, where they do what has to be done to protect the kid. What happens to the kid that doesn't have a mother or father? Well, what happens to the kids that are maybe in orphanages? They don't have this kind of attachments. It's a thing they will have to work on in the future. Unfortunately, this kid won't have the same attention or emotional support, so they don't have this safe attachment. not always the teachers can give the kids this kind of secure or safe attachment. So it's something they have to work on in the future. So thank you very much. We have to put a special emphasis. Well, we thank a lot the participation on the Dr. Loreta Bravo, and thank her participation on this international congress. La Salle Nasogarcoyotl and the psychological faculty of UNAM give this present recognition to Dr. Loreta Bravo Sainz for her participation on the webinar, the Paternity and Maternity Without Violence, on the second Congress International, and the third Symposium on National about prevention of suicide and promotion of health in kids and adolescents.
Muchas gracias, Atsiri, te agradezco el apoyo, muchísimas gracias.
No, no hay de qué, un gusto. Hasta luego.
Hasta luego,
Gracias.
buenas tardes. Bye.
Record.
Capital de Uruguay. Capital de Uruguay.